Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start chapter 5th, lines and angles. First we will discuss all about lines, then about angles. Now what is a line? And I have written one more thing, line segment. ये क्या है और इनमें difference क्या है? Now what I did? मैंने दो lines बना दी. Now how we'll understand the difference between line segment and line? The difference is कि जो लाइन सेगमेंट है इसके स्टार्टिंग और एंड पॉइंट फिक्स होगा. दीज पॉइंट्स विल बी फिक्स, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड इन लाइन ये एंड पॉइंट्स फिक्स नहीं होते हैं. यू कैन एक्सटेंड इट. आप इधर भी ड्रॉ कर सकते हो, इधर भी कर सकते हो. सो लाइन सेगमेंट इज अ लाइन विच हैज़ टू फिक्स एंड पॉइंट्स. लाइक यू ड्रॉ द लाइन्स. आप 2 सेंटीमीटर 5 सेंटीमीटर इन मेजरमेंट्स की लाइन बनाते हो तो those are line segments because उसमें end points fix होते हैं. and when you are able to extend means जब आप उसको बढ़ा सकते हो on either side, it is known as line. Now let's move on to our next topic. We'll study pairs of lines. We'll understand these with the help of examples. Intersecting lines. So suppose you are having two lines. This is line L and this is line M. Whenever two lines meet at a point, we call them as intersecting lines. Now here is a question for you. Find whether two intersecting lines meet at a single point or they can meet at more than one point. Okay, now let's move on to our next line, that is transversal. Now what is transversal? You all have seen railway crossings like this, means two parallel running lines. Now what is transversal? Transversal is a line which cross these two lines. So suppose the name of our line is L and N. So this O is a transversal. Transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines at different points. Now it's not compulsory that you will have only two lines. Suppose you are having three lines like this. Passing line is known as transversal. Now next topic is angles. What are angles? Then we'll move on to the angles which are in your chapters. Angles तो you're studying from your last classes. क्या होता है angle? Whenever two line segments meet each other, they form an angle. One line, second line, they met at a point. ये एक point पे meet करे here. So this is forming a angle. This is an angle. So whenever two lines or two line segments meet each other, they form an angle. Now in your previous classes you have studied many types of angles, that is acute angle, obtuse angle. But now in this chapter we are going to learn about the angles which are known as related angles. So what are related angles? Now let's learn the types of angles which are discussed in your chapter. So पहला angle है complementary angles. As I discussed, these are related angles, and related angles means जिनका आपस में relation होता है. So what are now these types of angles? So पहला है complementary angles. So whenever you see complementary angles, it means ऐसे angles जिनका sum 90 degree होगा. How much? 90 degree. Now you can get question in any form. Suppose आपको two angles given है. Okay, जैसे पहला एंगल सपोज कर लो इट इज़ ऑफ 40 डिग्री. आपको फर्स्ट एंगल गिवन है 40 degree. Asking you to find the complementary pair of 40 degree. As I told you, complementary angles वो होते हैं जिनका सम 90 डिग्री होता है. तो आपको एक एंगल 40 डिग्री गिवन है तो हम सेकंड को x सपोज कर लेंगे एंड वी नो इनका सम कितना है 90 डिग्री. So now when you have to find the x, you have to transfer this 40 degree. So when you will transfer this 40 degree on the other side, it will go in subtraction. So 90 minus 40 is 50 degree. So it means कि complementary pair 40 degree का क्या होगा 50 degree. So complementary angles are those whose sum is 90 degree. Now let's study our next angle. Now our next pair is supplementary angles. So supplementary angles are those angles whose sum is 180 degree. So suppose your question is check whether the given pair of supplementary or not, and your question have to check whether this given pair is supplementary or not. So I told you that supplementary angles are those whose sum is 180 degree. Now let's check whether these given angles form a pair of supplementary angle or not. So we'll add them. 120 degree plus 40 degree is equals to, add 120 and 40, you will get 160 degree, which is not equal to 180 degree. This means 120 degree and 40 degree doesn't form a pair of supplementary angles. Now let us move on to a third type of angles, which are adjacent angles. अब adjacent angles क्या होते हैं? We have three features to identify the given angles at adjacent angles. Are the three features of adjacent angles. How you will identify that the given pairs are adjacent angles? So its features are they must have a common vertex, a common arm and a non-common arm on either side. अब इसको कैसे समझेंगे? With an example. So suppose these are two given angles, angle 1 and angle 2. Let us name them A, B, C and D. Now you have to find the angle A, B, C and angle C, B, D. These are adjacent or not. जो हम चेक करते हैं कि जो प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं एडजेसेंट एंगल्स की वो इसमें फिट आती हैं या नहीं. सो आवर फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इज हैव कॉमन वर्टेक्स. सो यस, angle ABC and angle CBD. ABC and CBD, they have a common vertex. What is vertex? This is known as vertex. So this is between A, B, C and angle CBD. So this fulfills our first condition. Now second is have a common arm. So check whether these two given angles have common arm or not. So yes, we can clearly see that this BC or CB, this is same. This one, this is the common arm between the given two angles. Now third one is have a non-common arm on either side. दोनों angles की एक ऐसी arm होनी चाहिए जो non-common हो. So let's check for angle ABC. We have a arm which is AB, this one, and for angle CBD also we have a arm which one? BD. So these are fulfilling all three conditions. So you can say angle ABC and angle CBD are adjacent angles. So now next topic is linear pair. Linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays. In linear pair, the sum of the angles is 180 degree. So angle 1 plus 2 is equals to 180 degree. So in your exercise you may get the questions in which one of the pair is missing and you have to find the second pair. Suppose you have a question like this. This is marked as x and this is given to you 40 degree and your question is saying to find this x. So here you can clearly see that these two angles are on a straight line as the angles on linear pair, and we know whenever the pair of angles are formed on a straight line, their sum is 180 degree. So we can find the value of this x easily. So x plus 40 degree is equals to 180 degree. Now you have to transfer this 40 degree. So x is equals to 180 degree minus 40 degree. So when you will subtract it, you will get 140 degree as your answer. So our next topic is vertically opposite angles. Now what are vertically opposite angles? Now whenever, suppose you are having two lines and they are intersecting at a point like this. Now you see this angle 1 and angle 2, these are known as vertically opposite angles. This one pair, this is known as vertically opposite angle. This one pair 3 and 4, these are known as vertically opposite angles. Opposite angles are formed whenever two lines intersect at a common point. They form vertically opposite angles. The next topic, which is one of the important topic, angles made by transversal. The first type of angles made by a transversal are interior angles. Now as you can see in this figure, I have marked 4 angles, that is 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what are these? These are interior angles which are on the inside of the given lines, are known as interior angles. I think this is clear. The angles forming between these two lines are known as interior angles. Now next are exterior angles. Now what are exterior angles? These are opposite of interior angles. Angles forming on the outer side of the lines are known as exterior angles, as angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, angle 8. These are exterior angles. Now next are corresponding angles. Now how to identify that the given angles are corresponding angles? We have two properties for them. Let us see the properties. Angles. Here are the two properties by which you can identify which angles are corresponding angles. The first one is different vertices. So by this one property you are not able to identify. Second one is are on the same side of transversal. So let us find इस फिगर में ऐसे कौन से एंगल्स हैं जो इन दोनों प्रॉपर्टीज़ को सेटिस्फाई करेंगे. सो फर्स्ट इज डिफरेंट वर्टिसेस. ऐसे तो बहुत सारे एंगल्स हैं जिनके वर्टिसेस डिफरेंट हैं. सेकेंड देखते हैं आर ऑन द सेम साइड ऑफ ट्रांसवर्सल. दिस लाइन पी इज आर ट्रांसवर्सल. सो देखते हैं इसके सेम साइड पे यहाँ पर हमारे पास 4 एंगल्स हैं. ऐसे इस साइड पे अगर आप देखोगे तो आपके पास 4 एंगल्स, एंगल 1, एंगल 3, एंगल 5 और एंगल 7. अब हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि ऐसे कौन से एंगल्स का पेयर है जिसे हम कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एंगल्स बोलेंगे. तो डिफरेंट वर्टिसेस 1 और 5, एंगल 1 एंड एंगल 5, इनके डिफरेंट वर्टिसेस हैं और सेम साइड पे ट्रांसवर्सल के. तो एक तो ये पेयर हो गया. नेक्स्ट एंगल 3 एंड एंगल 7, एंगल 3 एंड एंगल 7, एक ये पेयर हो गया. सो 2 पेयर तो मैंने फाइंड कर दिया आपके लिए. नाउ इस साइड पे भी कुछ पेयर्स हैं जो कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एंगल्स होंगे, दैट यू हैव टू फाइंड एंड कमेंट योर आंसर्स. अब नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ एंगल्स जो एक ट्रांसवर्सल फॉर्म करती है, लेट्स सी देम. नेक्स्ट टाइप के एंगल्स हैं ऑल्टरनेट एंगल्स. In this you will study two types of angles, alternate interior and alternate exterior. तो सबसे पहले समझते हैं alternate angles क्या होते हैं, हम इनको कैसे पहचानेंगे. So alternate angles को आपको ऐसे पहचानना है जो x की फॉर्म. Suppose we have two lines और यहाँ से एक ट्रांसवर्सल पास हो रही है. अब alternate angles वो एंगल्स होंगे जो ईदर साइड में होंगे ट्रांसवर्सल की, मीन्स ऑपोजिट साइड में होंगे. आई हैव मेड अ फिगर टू एक्सप्लेन यू. सी, जब एक ट्रांसवर्सल पास होती है, दिस इज अ ट्रांसवर्सल एल. सो ये 2 लाइंस को कट करते हुए जा रही है, इस लाइन को और इस लाइन को, और इससे काफ़ी सारे एंगल्स फॉर्म हो रहे हैं. अब आपको वो एंगल्स देखने हैं जो ऑपोजिट साइड में हो, ऑपोजिट साइड में है और 2 लाइन्स पे बन रहे हैं, डिफरेंट 2 लाइन्स पे. दिस फर्स्ट वन एंगल इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड ऑन दिस लाइन एंड दिस वन एंगल इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड ऑन दिस लाइन, एंड वो कनेक्टेड किससे है, इस ट्रांसवर्सल से. सो दीज एंगल्स विच यू फाइंड इन अ क्रॉस पोजीशन आर नोन एज ऑल्टरनेट एंगल्स. अब इसमें 2 कैटेगरीज हैं, इंटीरियर एंड एक्सटीरियर. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू आवर मेन डायग्राम. सो इसमें इंटीरियर एंगल्स विच आर इन क्रॉस पोजीशन आर 3 and 6, 4 and 5. सो पेयर ऑफ ऑल्टरनेट इंटीरियर एंगल्स. अब मैं इनको इंटीरियर क्यों बोल रही हूँ, बिकॉज दीज आर इनसाइड दीज 2 गिवन लाइन्स. सो इंटीरियर एंगल के पेयर कौन से हैं? एंगल 3 एंड एंगल 6 ऑल्टरनेट. इंटीरियर हमने ऑलरेडी पढ़ लिए हैं, दीज आर ऑल्टरनेट. एंड एंगल 4 एंड एंगल 5. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू एक्सटीरियर. तो उसका भी सेम कंडीशन है, दे विल फॉर्म इन अ क्रॉस पोजीशन लाइक दिस. सो विच आर दोज? एंगल 1 and angle 8. Other pair is angle 2 and angle 7. These are alternate angles. So this was the last type of angles which you have to study for this chapter. Rest whatever is left on this chapter I'll cover in the next video. Comment your doubts so that I can cover those also in the next video.